What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Bracket Busters, where we're going to break down some of the top mid-major players, mid-major teams. We're going through the summer right now, and I'm not going to lie, the content is kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel here. But we had some interesting and fun things that we could have watched. Some of you all may have been in tune to this a little bit, but the FIBA U20 EuroBasket Tournament just wrapped up a few weeks ago here in July as of this filming. And there were some real standout players. Of course, you got your top guys. You have guys that are probably going to go to the NBA draft next season. You got guys that are going to go to teams like Florida and your power conferences. There's a lot of great talent that plays in this tournament every single season, every single year. And that's kind of when I talk about really three standout players that are heading to mid-majors next year. Three guys that two, in fact, actually made one of the rising stars list from the tournament this past season. And, this tournament's produced a lot of great talent, and Europe has always produced a lot of great talent. You got your NBA guys that go, not NBA guys, but guys who typically, maybe don't make the NBA. A lot of guys from mid-majors will go overseas, play in Europe. A lot of European talent comes over. Obviously, we all know Wemby. So, there's a lot of talent that comes out of Europe in terms of basketball. And that's why this tournament is so fun to watch every year. And if you're a complete nerd like me when it comes to college basketball, it's great to be able to watch and see statistics and get a grip of kind of what are these guys like coming in, because these are people playing legitimate talent. It's not like you're playing a random high school in the middle of cornfields type talent. You are this is an elite tournament for these kids to play in. So you're getting to see kind of what are they going to do whenever they're coming in next season and playing up against talent of equal level, better level. And yes, of course, it's, you're not playing a team full of, people from UConn, but there are caliber players of that caliber that can play there. So, some of my favorite players, kind of growing up and whenever I was going to a lot of mid-major games, came from Europe. So it's why I kind of wanted to highlight some three guys in particular who I'm personally really excited about. And if you're a Duquesne fan, you're going to make fun of me for one of these. So let's just go ahead and dive in and let's start talking about the top three, in my opinion, performers that are headed to mid-majors next season. So number one, we have Jacob Nikas from Duquesne. I'm just going to go ahead and start here. I guess I'll just put my foot in the mouth. And for those of you who probably don't know why I'm saying that right now, I have been doing these off-season reviews throughout the summer, just kind of talking about what does the transfer portal look like for these guys, what does the high school recruiting look like for these mid-major teams, and we're talking about what are they going to look like in the coming season. And I did one to Duquesne, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, and I didn't get flack. I just got a lot of comments from people saying hey, this guy's going to be really good. He's going to be really good next year. He went off, and he was a big part of why Duquesne upset BYU. He's a big part of why Duquesne was able to win the A10 tournament. And I was yeah, he played well at the end of the year, but he didn't really play much throughout the rest of the year, so I don't really know what he's going to be like. I kind of just did, I kind of wrote him off, admittedly. It's hard when you don't follow every single team throughout the course of the season. Obviously, you're gonna have fans that are super fans, so different than me with my teams that I personally watch more than others. You're gonna have those guys that you're yep, that's a guy that's gonna be the guy next season. So it is really hard sometimes when you're only looking from a statistical and what video you can find these guys and what they're actually gonna be like. And boy, I shot wrong on this guy, let me tell you. Okay, so kind of going into what he did. So again, this is Jacob Nikas from Duquesne. Absolutely went off in the FIBA tournament, let me tell you. He was named on the top 10 rising stars on the FIBA U20 EuroBasket list. In the tournament, he led the entire session with 18.6 points per game. He averaged 18.6 points, 8.4 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.3 steals, and nearly 1 block per game. He shot 38.8% from beyond the arc. He actually led Czechia to their top performance in team history. I'm going to show some highlights on the video whenever we're showing this, but regardless, this guy completely went off. So, first of all, Nikas, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, because I now understand why Duquesne fans were saying that this guy's going to be legitimate. He's got at 6'8", provides excellent size. He's got the ability to knock down shots from not just inside, but he's from beyond the arc as well. He's got a tremendous ability to create offense on his own. He's truly just versatile player. He can kind of just do it all, and that's what he did for his team. Led the team to the best performance in FIBA history for them. Like, this is the type of guy that's just going to be a tremendous glue piece that people like myself, who are kind of looking on the outside in, didn't necessarily catch. So just want to shout him out as well there, and Duquesne fans, sorry for missing that one. Another guy on the list we got is Gabriel Pizzato. So he is committed to the University of Evansville, which many of you know, and I actually have an Evansville shirt on right now. Was my alma mater, and I'm a diehard fan. And I'm not including him simply for the fact that he's going to Evansville. I want to add that. I did go through statistics, and I was trying to look and find mid-major players and guys who kind of contributed at a high level. So he's an incoming freshman this fall. He, along with Nikas, he was playing in the same tournament. However, he was a member of Italy's team. He only averaged 8.7 points, 1.7 rebounds, and 0.9 assists per game. However, Pizzato had an incredible performance of 33 points in just 24 minutes. So his stat line finished with 33 points in 24 minutes on 12 of 16 shooting, 5 of 8 from three-point. He went around. He didn't do a whole lot else on that game. He did have 1 rebound, 1 assist, but he did have 4 steals. So you're talking 33 points, 4 steals in just 24 minutes. Phenomenal. And that was against a victory against North Macedonia. So this guy can just absolutely score. He had a little bit of erratic playing time throughout the tournament. He saw 2 games where he posted over 20 minutes. He saw 2 games with 5 or less. Given one thing I do want to add is a lot of these guys that play in this tournament, for example, like Nikas, he's a whole year older. That probably went into the playing time a little bit where, Pizzato's a true freshman. He's 18 years old. Like, he probably didn't see as much playing time as somebody else that might be like 19 years old, has a year of NCAA under his experience, or, whatever, some type of professional league, some type of prep league, whatever the case may be. So that probably went into his playing time, but he took advantage of what playing time he did have. He obviously had a 33-point performance, but he also posted 13 points in 22 minutes in one game and 9 points in 13 minutes in another game. Tournament as a whole, he shot 45.7% overall and 36% from beyond the arc. 6'6", he fits in as a great shooting guard, small forward. He's got the ability to make an impact on the defensive end as well. We saw that with the 4 steals in that one game. Plus, the kid can just absolutely dunk. This dude is athletic as I get out. He just posted on. I'm going to be showing some highlights on the video throughout this. He posted some absolute monster dunks during this game, that 33-point performance game. So if you're an Evansville Aces fan like I am, you got to be pumped about this kid. Obviously, you don't really know what he's going to, necessarily translate to as a freshman. However, there's no doubt this kid's going to be able to make an impact as a freshman. And what he showed in that one game, what he showed throughout the tournament, is being able to kind of come off the bench and really be that guy. Excellent. Evansville fans got to be pumped about this kid. So, last one I'm going to chat about here briefly is Dragos Lungo. So, he was from San Diego. And he actually played some his freshman year. Some of these other guys, they didn't really, like I said, because I was an incoming freshman, and Nikas played a little bit his freshman year, played more so towards the end of the year, like I mentioned, in the A10 tournament and the actual NCAA tournament. But Lungo, he already saw playing time as a freshman. He averaged 5.1 points, 2.6 rebounds, 2 assists per game. He appeared in 30 games on the season for San Diego. And that playing time is probably just going to increase after his performance. So the way the FIBA tournament works is there's actually different divisions, and he was on Team Romania, and they were actually in the B division. So these other 2 teams I was mentioning, like Italy and Czechia, they were on the Division A. So usually what happens is when you win Division B, when you win the whole tournament, you can move up to Division A. So Romania actually was able to move up to Division A coming in, and this is just the 3rd time in that team's history, and a lot of that is due to Lungo and his performance. He averaged 16.3 points, 7.9 rebounds, 2.6 assists, and 1.9 steals per game. He actually earned the FIBA Division B MVP. He also earned his spot on the top 10 rising stars, as I mentioned, that a lot of these guys were. He just was a monster in this tournament. He single-handedly took some games over for Romania. I'm going to be showing some highlight reels. The dude is legitimate. I know San Diego fans, if you're out there, you probably already know this guy's legitimate, but he is going to just take that another step further. It looks like he's improved on his game. He's going to be a serious problem for other teams in the WCC. And he's got a tremendous ability to create offense for himself. He can take a step-back shot. He can finish a tough shot around the rim. At 6'6", he's an excellent rebounder. He's the type of guy that, he's not 6'9", but he can absolutely just crash the boards. Dude is averaging 8 rebounds a game here. He's a monster in the defensive end, and he's just fun to watch, too. I mean, they got to be pumped about him coming back, and he showed some signs last season. At the beginning of the year, he had a 20-point, 6-rebound performance against Jackson State towards the beginning of the season. And now with the work he's putting in the offseason, there's no doubt that he's going to be able to help San Diego build off their 5th-place finish last year in the WCC. WCC is only going to be getting tougher. There's going to be a great year opportunity for them to try to like take this step forward. And I think Lungo is going to be a really big piece of that as well this coming season. So those 3 guys that I think you should keep your eye out on coming into the next season. And if there's somebody I missed or somebody that you saw in the FIBA, comment down below and let me know. I'm always looking out for guys like this that are kind of like flying under the radar a little bit. It's easier to see sometimes at power conferences, but at mid-majors, people don't really cover that. So it's always like fun kind of like taking, 10, 12 minutes here to try to cover that. And yep, thank you all for watching, tuning in, and stay tuned. And make sure to subscribe to Substack if you haven't already. And thank you all for watching. What's going on, guys? I just also want to plug here that we are running a promotion through Bracket Busters. So if you actually go down into the link below into our Substack, you'll see on all of our articles that we actually post that if you use the code Bracket Busters, as with both B's capitalized, when checking out at Crow's Nest Coffee Roasters online, which the link will also be down below, you will receive 10% off your order. Also, highly recommend overall that you go to our Substack and subscribe to our newsletters. They are our primary source of how you get information from us. We are starting to explore a little bit more into the video space here on YouTube and other channels. And I recommend that you go to Substack. That's always going to be the first place that we post our new media. So if you're a fan of college basketball, if you're a fan of mid-majors, go to Substack, check us out, give us a subscribe button. I would super appreciate it. Thank you all.